Hey, what's up, everybody? What's going on? It's me, Hobbs, with the culture. This episode is super important to me, and I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about um, survivors. Right, this episode is just for the survivors that are out there. Not just not just one who made it through, but for the ones who are still standing and fighting, and still healing. Right. Um, and I say this as one of you. Okay. I was abused, I was silenced, I was shattered, but I'm still here, and so are you. There's a lie that tells us that we're broken beyond repair, that we'll never be whole again, and that the damage is permanent. But here's what I know from living this, right? What happened to you and what happened to me was not our fault. Um, what you're feeling is not weakness, and what you become, that is strength of motion. Healing is not a straight road, right? There will be days that you feel triggered. There will be nights that you cry, and and that doesn't make you less of a survivor. It just makes you human. I'm not here as an expert. I'm here as proof that survival is possible and thriving is possible. That your story does not end where your pain began. And if today is a heavy day for the survivors, for you being a survivor, let this episode remind you that you're not alone, that there's a whole community rising from the ashes of what was done to us, and we are not what happened. We are what we choose to become, right? Um, Psalms 147, 3, verse 3 says, He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. God doesn't run from your trauma, He runs into it. He sees the nights you cried, the shame that you never deserved, and He still calls you worthy, chosen, and whole. Your faith isn't weak because you're hurting, it's strong because you're still walking. Okay? I am no longer a prisoner of my past. My scars are not my shame, they are my survival. I'm choosing to heal. I choose healing. I choose peace. I choose me. I am proof that light can rise from darkness. You have to ask some of these questions for yourself and some type of reflections, right? Um, what would you say to your younger self if you could sit down with them today? What does safety mean to me now, and how do I create it for myself? What does it mean to me to reclaim my body, my voice, and my identity? Listen, I always write my stuff down. When I'm feeling down and I'm feeling sad and I'm feeling like things are going bad, with everything that's going on in the news with about pedophilia, and our government being involved, apparently, in this whole sexual ring of pedophiles, it's triggering for some of us survivors. So I wanted to make a message, to if you were being triggered, by all the news cycle and what's going on, you're not the only one. You're not alone. Okay. And I'm just trying to figure. I wanted to share something that was helping me, and hopefully it could help you. Like, one, speak to your advocacy group, speak to your elders, your pastor, pray. Those things definitely help me. Um, Also, what's been helpful was uh, talking about these pains, because we carry PTSD with us when you're a survivor like this, right? So I wanted to share with you guys that though we've been abused in our young lives, that's not who we are right now, right? That you're not who you were in your past, and it wasn't your fault. It wasn't my fault. So I want you guys to be strong as survivors of sexual abuse, of physical abuse, verbal abuse, all that stuff. Because you know what? I am a prime example of that. You can you can push through. The enemy wants to keep you down and bogged down in your brain, in your head about this abuse that occurred to us, but that's not who we are anymore, right? And with these news cycles and what's going on air, you guys could just shut it off. And if you're being triggered, please reach out to someone that talk about it, that you're talk about how you're feeling, and go through, and get yourself um some help, right? If you have any questions and if you want to talk, please DM me, please reach out to me, and I'll be happy to talk about my experience and how do I get through the PTSD of this stuff that we're seeing in the news cycle with the pedophilia, the sexual abuse. Because it's tough. I know it personally. I feel, I listening to this stuff sometimes brings me back to those times that were the darkest part of my life. But then I realized that how much of the accomplishments that I've made in my life. So please reach out to somebody that you love, that you really trust. Talk about this abuse, and let's only have these good vibes only. Okay. So I love you guys. God bless you. And I got you guys all in my prayers. Stay strong, and I will be seeing you guys soon.